friends, welcome to my channel Harry's Breakthrough. This is the second mathematics class for 7th standard students. In the last class, we have studied about factors and we had obtained the factors of numbers from 1 to 50 and we derived some conclusions, right? But we have studied the number 1 has only one factor. And the prime numbers like 2, 3, 5, 7 and 11 etc. have two factors. And the numbers which are product of two same prime numbers like the number 4, 9, 25, 49 have three factors. And the numbers which are product of two different prime numbers like number 10, number 35 have four factors. These were the conclusions we have derived in the last class. And can you find any other relationship between the numbers and the number of factors? Yes, we can obtain some more relations. Here, numbers which are obtained by multiplying a prime number repeatedly 3 times have 4 factors. I will explain this. Let us take number 8. How can we write number 8 as product of prime numbers? That is 2 into 2 into 2 is equal to 8. We know that 2 is a prime number and multiplying 2 by 2 3 times. Okay. And what are the factors of 8? 1, 2, 4 and 8. That is 8 has 4 factors. And let us check number 27. How can we write number 27 as product of prime numbers? That is 3 into 3 into 3 is equal to 27. 27 has also 4 factors that are 1, 3, 9 and 27. That means the numbers which are obtained by multiplying a prime number repeatedly 3 times have 4 factors. Okay. And the next conclusion is numbers which are obtained by multiplying a prime number repeatedly 4 times have 5 factors. Do you understand this? Let's check. The number 16. How can we write number 16 as product of prime numbers? That is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 is equal to 16. And the factors of 16 are 1, 2, 4, 8 and 16. That is 16 has 5 factors. That means the numbers which are obtained by multiplying a prime number repeatedly 4 times have 5 factors. And these are the conclusions we have obtained from factors. Okay. Now, today, let's discuss some factors about geometry. Today, let us discuss about some geometrical shapes. First, take a piece of paper which is rectangular in shape. And how can we divide this paper into 2 equal parts? Or how can we divide this rectangle into 2 equal parts? Yes, we can draw a line through its center like this and fold this paper through this line and we can cut this. We can cut this paper through this line, then we will get 2 equal rectangles. Okay, this is one method. And can we divide this paper into 2 equal parts in any other ways? Yes, we can draw a line like this, right? And then cut this paper through this line. Then we will get another 2 rectangles. These 2 rectangles are also same size. Okay. Is there any other method for dividing this rectangle into two equal parts? Here is the rectangle and we can draw a line through its diagonal. And if we cut through this line, we will get another two equal parts. And here we got two triangles. In the previous two methods, we got two rectangles. But here, in this method, we got two triangles. And we know that these two triangles are equal in size. Okay. This is the third method. And we can check another one. If we look at this triangle, we could see that one angle of this triangle is 90 degree. A triangle with one angle 90 degree is called a right angle triangle. So, in the third method, we got two right angle triangles. Can we divide this rectangle in any other method? Let's check. So, take a piece of paper of size 8 centimeter length and 5 centimeter breadth. You can use any of the size. This is only an example for you. Okay. Now, mark a point from this corner, measure length 2 centimeter and mark a point here. And from the bottom corner, measure a length of 2 centimeter and mark a point here. Now, join these 2 points. Then we will get a line like this. And if we cut through this line, we will get another 2 equal parts. Like this, we will get 2 equal parts. And here, this side becomes 6 centimeter. Why? Because we have marked a point at 2 centimeter from the bottom right corner. So this 8 centimeter became 6 centimeter. Like that, here also the measure is 6 centimeter. So these two parts are equal in size. And these two shapes are not a rectangle or not a triangle. Then what shape is this? This shape is called a trapezium. This is a quadrilateral. It has 4 sides and this shape is called a trapezium. Okay. Now let's check how can we make a square from a rectangle. For this you have to take a piece of paper of rectangular in shape. Then you have to fold this paper through the corner like this. Then if you fold this, you will get a small part remaining at the bottom. Then you have to fold through this portion. Then you have to cut out that remaining portion. So here I cut out the remaining portion, and if you open that fold, you will get a square. Okay. Next question is, if we can cut out two squares of equal size from a rectangle, how many times is the length of rectangle to its breadth? Do you understand the question? We cut two squares of equal size from a rectangle. I have given two different colors for these two squares. If we can cut two squares of equal size from a rectangle, how many times is the length of the rectangle to its breadth? Can you say that? This is the breadth and this is length. So from this figure it is clear that the length is 2 times of breadth. Or in other words, we can say that the breadth is half of its length. Okay, let's do another problem. Cut out a rectangle of size 8 centimeter length and 5 centimeter breadth. Now you have to mark a point on this side. You can take any point on this side. Then you have to draw a line from the bottom two corners to this point. I have taken a point here and I have drawn a line from the bottom left corner to this point, and also a line from the bottom right corner to this point. So I got a triangle here. And for this triangle, one side of triangle is same as one side of this rectangle, right? Like this, you have to draw a line. You have to take any point on this side. Okay, now you have to check, is there any relation between the area of this triangle and area of this rectangle? Can you find any relation between the areas of the triangle and this rectangle? Let's check. Let's cut through this line. Then we will get 3 pieces. Now you have to check, or you have to place these 2 pieces above this triangle. For simplicity or for understanding purpose, I have given a red color to this triangle. Now place these 2 small pieces above this triangle. Like this, place the small triangles above the bigger one. So when you placed these 2 pieces above the big triangle, you can see that the area of the biggest triangle is equal to the area of these 2 small pieces. From this, we can find that the triangle has area half of the area of rectangle. To be more, now let's check what part of the rectangle is red triangle. To find this, we can draw a line like this. So if we cut through this line, we will get 2 rectangles. And if you look at this, we can see each rectangle has been divided into 2 parts through its diagonals. So here we can see that each triangle is half of each rectangle. That means the area of the red triangle is half the area of rectangle. Do you understand? The area of red triangle is half the area of rectangle. Okay. Now let us check how can we make a square of half the area from a larger square. For this, you have to take a piece of paper of square shape. Then you have to fold, or you have to bring the 4 corners of this square to its center. To bring the 4 corners to its center, you have to fold this paper like this. So we have fold the 2 corners, then the third portion, and then the 4th corner. Now you got a square of smaller size. Now let's cut out these 4 triangles. So we cut out these 4 triangles. Then let's check its area. For this, you have to place these 4 triangles in this way. That is, the portion we have cut should be at the side. Like this, you have to place these 4 triangles on this square. If you check, you can see that the sum of areas of these 4 triangles is equal to the area of the square. That means
we got a square of half the area from the larger square.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you know how can we make a big square from two small squares? Do you know how? Let's take two squares of equal size. Then we have to make a big square from using these two small squares. How can we do that? For that, you have to cut one square through the diagonals. When you cut this square through the diagonals, you will get four parts, or you will get four triangles, right? Then you have to place these four triangles on the sides of the second square. I will show that. So here is the second square, and you have to place the four triangles on the sides of this square. Like this, place one piece here and other piece here, and then like this. Then you got a bigger square. Look, you have joined these two small squares and made a bigger square. This is one method. And there is the second method for this. This is one method, and you can make a bigger square using another method. Let's check. These are the two small squares, and you have to cut each of the squares through one of its diagonals. For the first one, cut this square through this diagonal, and for the second square, cut the square through this diagonal. Then you have divided each of the squares into two small triangles, and you have to place this triangle by making the diagonal side as its sides. You have to place the diagonal portion as the sides of the squares. So when we cut through the diagonals, we got four triangles like this, and you have to place these triangles in such a way that this side becomes the side of the square. So like this, you have to place one piece like this, and the second piece like this, and then the third one and the fourth one. Then you got a bigger square. So in these two methods, we can make a big square from two small squares. Next, here is a question for you. In this figure, the largest square has sides 8 cm. This largest square has sides 8 cm. And by joining the midpoints of the sides of this square, a new square is made inside this. You can see in this figure, we have marked the center points of or midpoints of each of the sides, and then we have joined these points. Then we got a small square inside this. Again, we have marked the midpoint of this side, the midpoints of the sides of the square inside, and then we have joined this and we got another small square. By continuing this process, 5 squares are made. You can see that there are 5 squares, and you have to find the area of smallest square. That means you have to find the area of this small square. How can we find this? We have studied that when we fold the corners to the center, we will get a square of area half of the biggest square. So in this method, we know that the area of largest square is 8 into 8 is equal to 64 square centimeter. And what will be the area of the square inside, or what is the area of the second square? We know that the area is half of the first square. So the area of second square is equal to 64 by 2, that is equal to 32 square centimeter. Then we again divided, or we again made a small square inside this. So the area of third square will be 32 by 2, that is 16 square centimeter. And we have again made a small square inside this, that is the fourth square, and the area of fourth square will be 16 by 2, that's equal to 8 square centimeter. Then the area of fifth square, that is the smallest one, it will be 8 by 2 is equal to 4 square centimeter. So this is our today's class. I hope you all understand today's class. So let's wind up today's class. If you liked my class, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. So let's see in our next class. Thank you all.